Hey everyone, this is Josiah.
This is James with From the Dust Outdoors, and we're going to give you our top tips when planning your next trip.
So the first thing that I like to do when selecting an area for a backpacking trip is to go on YouTube and watch a bunch of trail vlogs that people have done. That gives me an indication of how hard the trail is going to be, what the scenery is going to be like, and some of the interesting points and highlights that I need to look out for. So the next thing that I like to do is to figure out where I want to go based on how much time I actually have available for the trip. For instance, if I only have enough time for a 3-day, 2-night trip, I don't really want to drive 10 hours each way to get to the trail.
So once you figured out where you're going, next stop you want to do is go to the website of either the state park, national forest, national park. There's going to be a vast amount of information on there that you want to look for. Some of the things you're going to want to look for is, do I need a permit, both for parking and for camping? Those are just some general areas where permits are somewhat required depending on the park, forest, where you're going. States are different, so you always want to check on that. Same goes for fire bans. They're going to notify you if there's a fire ban in the area and if there's bear bags required. A lot of times you're going to want to hang a bear bag anyways, because even if there's not bears, there's rodents, there's mice, there's raccoons, there's everything else that's going to want your food as well. So you might as well get it up in a tree. You're also going to want to find out if it's dispersed or designated camping. What that means is dispersed is, hey, I like that spot over there. Let me go camp there. Designated is going to be assigned lots or sites along the trail. As always, follow the rules, leave no trace. If somewhere's already been used, use it. Don't knock down all the plantation or move a bunch of stuff just because you like a certain spot. Lastly, on researching on the website is look for wildlife in the area. One of the biggest suggestions I can make is finding out what type of wildlife is there. Anything you should be concerned about. Bears, venomous snakes, any other mountain lions, things like that you need to be aware of. You need to research what to do in those situations and how to handle yourself, because the last thing you want to do is die. Lastly, once you figured out where you're going, look at the trails. There might be a trail system that everyone talks about, but get creative. Combine different trails, make them into a loop, things like that, to where you are hiking your own hike. You've made a new trail and you might find something interesting. Here at From the Dust Outdoors, we love loops. We don't like having to worry about driving from one end to another. We like to come back to the car at the same spot. So a lot of times we'll combine different trails to make it into a loop. That just works for us. It's easy. And once you figure out what trail system you're doing, have a plan. Keep it with someone, a spouse, family member, friend, someone who's going to be aware of where you're going, estimated time you're leaving, you're coming back, and give them the ranger contact information for the area you're going to be in. You never know, if you don't come back on time, it could be something that saves your life and allows them to get rescue into you faster.
So one thing that is completely personal preference, and for us at From the Dust Outdoors, we like to travel with this, is to use some kind of a GPS, whether it be a standalone GPS or an app on your phone. Personally, we have tested out Gaia GPS and AllTrails. Those are both apps that you can get on iPhone and Android. We like them both. They're both good. They both have different trails though, so you might have to use both depending on where you're going. There's also the option of getting a standalone dedicated GPS. You're going to spend a lot more money, but it's probably going to have more trails, be a little bit more reliable for you. The way that we like to do it though is just use an app on our phone. So that's just a handful of tips that we here at From the Dust Outdoors like to use when we're selecting the next trail for our next backpacking trip. If there's anything that we missed or any tips that you guys have, leave us a comment down below. We'd love to hear about them.
And if you like the information, definitely give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. That lets us know that you like the information, you like the video that we provided you, and it motivates us to want to give you more content.